right, back at it again. Wash and chat, if you will. Sad news is I just did my did the driver's side on the M3. There's a sticker on the inside of the tire that's leaking, and so the other side had been holding for several days. And I came out here this morning, and now the passenger side has a leaky tire. So now I got to go get the tire fixed on the M3. But if you didn't watch the M3 series, I gave a life and business update. Now I guess what I'll do is give a car update. A car and modification update. I have Auto Fanatic wheel cleaner in here. I think this is only the second time I've washed the 1M since correcting it and coating it and doing all that stuff. So he suggests doing this dry, so I've been doing this dry. I just really hate this whole sprayer experience. No matter what I do, it never gets as good of coverage as a good old-fashioned spray bottle. Maybe I'm gonna pump it 100 times. Go hit the other wheel. So just to status update you on the 1M, I've got, and done some serious modifications. I've got to fix this here, but I made some significant changes to the car. About the only thing I haven't changed is the suspension. But what I did to start is I pulled the exhaust off the car. I guess what I did to start was I removed all the PPF, corrected the car with the guys that, a bunch of moderators came down and we did it together. Removed all the PPF, paint corrected it, coated it in Crystal Serum Light and XO. Got new wheels, coated the wheels in C5, topped with XO. I don't think I topped these with XO. I think I just did C5, so I did 2 coats of C5. So these are 359M competition package wheels. So I tried different spacers. So there's no spacers on the wheels. I have wheel studs on here now, which I'm probably going to go back to wheel bolts. I just don't like how they look. I had them on my F80, and I think I loved them, but I don't know. I don't like the way these look. Then I did the exhaust, so I put the factory downpipes. Well, Mike put the factory downpipes back on, and then did a catless center section. So it's a full HMS exhaust. Goes all the way back to the rear section. So it's a valved exhaust. Has the Acura little remote valve switch thinger in the that's in the whatever you call it, the power outlet. And then let's see what else I've done. New floor mats, changed the grills out to new I&D painted grills. And then what else did we do? Dynon front sway bar, swapped the AFE intake to a Dynon intake, which was a huge big ordeal to do that. Did plugs, coils, and changed the oil, changed diff fluid, changed transmission fluid. So flushed all that, flushed the coolant system when we did the oil cooler. So we did the aftermarket oil cooler from Dynon. Yeah, so that's where we're at, up to date in the car. Of course, clean out the interior, and that's where we are. So we've made some significant progress on this thing since I got it. I guess it's about 3 months ago now. And so it's been a labor of love to get it to the point that I'm at now. I still have the Cobb stock tune, so it had a custom tune which I just didn't like at all, causing all kinds of problems. And so I've gone back to, when I did the coils and plugs, I went back to a Cobb Stage 1 tune that will be transitioning here soon to, I was going to do active, and I still may do that, but I got to go down to Orlando to do it, and I just haven't had the energy to go down there. So I'll probably just get the MHD thinger and do that, Stage 1 MHD, and call it a day. I'm not looking for big horsepower in this car. The thing I learned is that what I would like, and so I have the linear tune, the Cobb linear tune right now set up on it, but it's not so linear. So I'm gonna try the MHD and see if that gets me a little less lumpy power delivery. So we'll be doing that here soon. Now, I'm sure, not a very exciting video, but I'm sure we'll video that process. But I'm going to be going up here today, back to Discount Tire, to get these wheels rebalanced. All the weights came off of these, and I had them mounted and balanced before I did the coating, and yet all the wheel weights flew off. So hopefully I can get that fixed here today, get them set up. So the car's coming together, and I've been driving it quite a bit lately. I'll drive it again today to go get the wheels and tires done. Or the tires, I guess the whole assembly rebalanced. I don't know, with these wheels I find the Easy Detail brush to work better than the fancy Increda brush. But both come in handy. It just depends on what mood I'm in. So the next step for this car, like I just mentioned, is tune. And I decided I'm so in love with the Brembos on my M3 that I ordered Brembos for this. So yeah. So I'm gonna do Brembo 380 millimeter front and rear, 6-piston rear or front, 4-piston rear, just like the M3. I'm doing them black with white lettering. I really didn't want to order any kind of custom color, and I'm not a big fan of, just because the car is orange, doing all kinds of weird orange accent crap. So I'm not doing any. It's not worth spending $1,000 extra to get something orange, which I wouldn't want anyway. The only thing I was thinking, just so I could see them more, was silver. Doing silver with black lettering, but they only do silver. They only do silver with red lettering, and that clearly isn't going to work on this car. So I'm doing black. And then the other thing I'm thinking about doing is I'm going to test fit it, but putting the HREs on this car. Yeah. And I'm not sure. I really like black on this, black wheels. I think the gunmetal will look good too. So I'm highly considering taking and putting the HREs on it. So tell me that wouldn't be cool. So the only other thing I'm thinking about which will be dumb. Yeah, this HMS exhaust is awesome. Wait till you hear it here soon. This is my original press-all bottle. It's holding up fine. So, one thing I'm thinking is, the only thing I've seen fail thus far has been the tip. And your tendency is to tighten it down really tightly. And so I think tighten it all the way down and then back it off a notch. And then hopefully that'll alleviate failure of the tip. But mine, these are original, I've been using for about 5 months now, and they're holding up fine. So the question is on these bottles, long term, if you're using it every day, you know, I'm only using it once a week or so, how is it gonna hold up? All right, let's keep rolling. And there's something wonderful about washing a car on a Monday morning. And you're supposed to be doing some kind of work. I mean, I was up at 6:45, cleaning out my email inbox that I manage all weekend. Anyway, so very few things to respond to. Checking out YouTube comments, making sure everything's cool on Facebook, keeping everything nice and organized and clean. And then I come out here at about 8 and do this. It's amazing. Yeah, I hate the IK9 too. Almost equally as much as the others. So, yeah. So I'm thinking, well, I've already paid for them, so I'm not thinking, I'm doing. Brembos, I'm thinking about suspension. You know, this AST suspension's pretty good. It's a single way, you know, I don't know how much they are. $1,200 suspension. It's just kind of harsh for my soft rear end. I prefer now, like I have the Dynon suspension, which is just a sleeved kit on the M3. It's a highly calibrated, highly calculated sleeve kit, which I think is great. You can't really go all that low on this car anyway. The front end and the rear end both rub pretty easily. That's why I don't have spacers on. So I'm thinking about putting the HREs on here because the offsets, I didn't vet the offsets very well. I just let HRE do it, and then they chose old man offsets. So now what my thought process is, we're going to put them on here once I go get them fixed. But my thought process here is that this car, like even these wheels, like on the M3, are really sunk, but on this car they're pretty decent offsets. So I think the HREs, which are a little bit more aggressive than this, might work really well. And then I'll just get another set of HREs for the M3 in a little bit more aggressive offset, which I think would be really cool. So I'm taking a rather pedestrian 1M, and I'm gonna make it not so pedestrian. But I am thinking same style, same color, same everything on the M3. That I did, just in a little different offset. So then I've got to do a couple more things. I've got to tint the front windshield on this. I'm going to get Probably Unit N R7. I don't know. I don't know if is it out yet. I haven't been paying attention. So I got a Unit N, hardwire that. I've got to get some new center console pieces because they're kind of scratched up. You know, this car is never going to be perfect. You know, it's a 2011, has 44,000 miles. Wasn't mine for 44,000 miles, so it's going to need, or it's never going to have perfection. But I like to improve little things to make it as acceptable as possible. So that way when I do raffle it off, you know, I'm just treating it as if it is mine. I mean, it is mine, but I'm just treating it as that I'm going to keep it. I'm going to do all the things that I would do to it. If I kept it for the next 10 years, I'd probably do some other things that I'm not going to be able to do in the next couple of months that I own it before I give it away or raffle it off, whatever you want to call it. And so I'm looking at it that way. And I'm not looking at it as, oh man, what could raffle it the best? I'm looking at it as, you know, what would I do if it were mine? And I was going to keep it a long time. That's why I decided to do the Brembos. I wasn't sure on Brembos because I'd never done them. But I'm absolutely in love with them on the M3. They are just special. So then I'm going to leave the shifter and shift knob alone. I'm going to leave all that alone the way it is. I'm going to get a new shift knob because it's kind of oily and worn. I'm going to get an BMW Performance steering wheel, so I'll do that here shortly. I already bought new studs here for this, or wheel bolts. I ordered those last night. And my headlights should be coming soon. I ordered them from Bay Optics quite a while ago, so now I'm just waiting on those to show up. And then I'll take the bumper off, and I have to probably have to trim a little bit from the intake. It's a little more compressed. And so this side of the bumper is not lined up properly. I couldn't get it to pull in tightly. There's just something holding it back. So I probably have to trim a little bit of the metal attachments or pieces that we had from the dine-in setup, the dine-in kit. All right, let's get this rinsed and get moving on the exterior. Yeah, I think this is the way to go. Friday, Monday washes. And the GT3 is pretty clean, so it'd be nice to have 3 clean cars. So this is only the second wash I've done. So it has bead maker on it now. Crystal serum light, topped with 2 coats of EXO, topped with bead maker. Now we have Wolf's glass sealant on the glass, topped with bead maker. Works quite well. So the headlights will be coming where they'll be blacked out. I really need to find a front lip for this thing. I decided to leave the Revo Sport rear diffuser on the car. And so it's real aggressive in the rear and really dainty in the front. Maybe you guys can make some suggestions. Send me some links on what front lip you would do. There just aren't a lot of options. You know, most companies have stopped making parts for this thing, since there aren't very many of them. All right, get my bucket set up. All right, I'm gonna try out some Mcguire's Shampoo Plus. Got a bunch of new Mcguire stuff to test out. I guess not new Mcguire's, but new to me Mcguire's. This is part of their professional detailer line. So let's see how this does. little watery. Seems to be doing the job, but has a little bit of a soapy type scent, but nothing bad, nothing good. Just smells like soap. You can see it has a little bit more water, a little watery, more watery. I guess that's how you would say it. Consistency to it. Not bad. What happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor, foot to the floor.